she starts to see people who have holes. Veronica would never have been dissed by me because Veronica was not rude at all. Veronica just asked an innocent question. Veronica would have been someone who would have followed me and was loyal to me and only was trying to help. So I see what happens with Veronica, and I reply back to her saying, wow, I'm so sorry. Let's get you a refund and a brand new lippy. But as more and more people begin to receive the lippies, there's more and more issues. Hairs, black things, beads, plastic, possible injury due to the stuff that's in the lipstick. So now I'm livid. Not only am I livid, I'm horrified, I'm mortified. I go back to my checks and balances, all the due diligence, and then I find out behind the scenes. But before I find out behind the scenes, I'm going to put out a tweet, a quick tweet saying, I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and there might be 2 R's happening. Recall and refund. But let me get my ducks in a row first. Then I would have gone behind the scenes, and then to my horror, I would find out that this lab was horrible. And that's when I would find out all these things that they had purposely withheld. And Kevin James Bennett, I would have talked with him. It's like, what's going on? He would have been just as horrified as I was. So after I get all the facts together, I recall. It's that simple. It's that simple. I am recalling these lipsticks. What I'm told is that the ingredients are safe. However, that's not why I'm recalling them. I'm recalling them because they are contaminated. And I would also ask for anyone who has had these contaminated lipsticks, if they could, to send them back to me so that I can also, take a look at them, have them tested or whatever it is that I need to do. And then, you know what I'm doing? I'm looking to sue that lab. Thankfully, I will have done my due diligence where I have insurance, so I'm covered in that respect, but I am suing the heck out of those people. And what's going to happen is most likely people who have followed me have seen everything that I show them looks perfectly fine, the PR and the non-PR. They all know that I've consulted with all these people. And at this point, the website would be completely shut down. I would ask everyone, please do not use the lipstick. Please do not use it. Please send it back and we will fully refund you. We will not be replacing the lipstick because we don't know how bad or how far the contamination is, and we really don't want to risk any chances. So you will be receiving a full refund. And probably the next thing that I would be doing is having a video where I have chemists with me. Even the recall video, I think I want to get this information out fast, so I probably would do like a tweet. Hey, we're recalling, this is what's happening. Then I'm going to do a video. I'm going to tell them, of course there's some things legally that I can't talk about, I'm sure, with the lab, but I'd have my chemists, I'd have my friend Kevin, now we're friends, and I'd say, do we have any explanation? Is there anything? Answer any of people's questions that they might have on Twitter. I mean, that's what I would do. I would go above and beyond to make sure that my customers were happy, and to also prove that that I did everything I needed to do. And even like what I would have even done is I would have even had depending on how many followers I have, I would have even taken the lippies, and before they were even ready to be released, I would have sent them to 10,000 subbies, 10,000 of my subbies for them to try out. And even after that, if they find nothing wrong with them, there's no lint, there's nothing in them, that also helps the people are not going to be mad at me. They're going to be mad at the lab. They're going to be mad at what the lab did, not mad at me. So that's kind of like how I would have handled it. It would have been like immediate. It would have been like, do not, at this time, as soon as I would find out, like if there was anything going on, the first thing I'd say is, please do not use these lipsticks. Please do not use them. And even though I've been reassured that the ingredients are safe, do not use them. And I would ask them to send it in if they want. They don't have to. I mean, if I could, I'd probably have a prepaid envelope in there for them already, so they could just send it right back. I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to be thorough. I want to make sure people first know that you know, that you don't have to question my integrity, because I'm going to be there even before you have the question. I'm going to answer that question for you. I don't understand why she doesn't recall them. You know, and the thing is that maybe it does expose her to liability. Well, okay, so what? Expose me to liability because this is wrong. Excuse me, this is wrong. I should not have to have this. And if anything, it exposes probably more of the lab than me, because I have all the evidence necessary to show that everything on my end was fine. I mean, I do not understand. I would never have my mother, for crying out loud, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing, or my husband or anybody try to come in and defend me when it's my mess. Even if, no matter what, even if it wasn't my fault, it's still my responsibility. I'm the CEO. I'm going to keep the website up. I'm no longer going to have these available. As soon as I find out anything, as soon as, like, I mean, from the first couple of issues with the lippies, I'm rescinding sales. These are no longer available until we find out what's going on. I don't know, why was that so hard to do? I mean, yeah, you're losing probably millions of dollars, but you're gaining priceless integrity. You're gaining priceless character. And you can't put a price on that. You cannot put a price on integrity. You cannot put a price on honesty. So that's, to me, more important than however many millions of dollars I'm going to lose. I just don't understand it. She had so many opportunities to make things right, and she didn't. And she kept saying that the ingredients are safe and all this. Well, maybe the ingredients are, but it's clearly there's a black hair coming out of this person's lipstick. I would have been horrified. I would have personally gone to every person and be like, I am so sorry. Like, if I could, I'd go over and meet them. You know, like, I'm so sorry. I'd have a meet and greet. Please forgive me. You know, that's just the way you do it. And you don't do it in a hoodie. You don't do it in a hoodie. You don't do it with no makeup and all this nonsense. No, you're be dressed to impress. Be dressed to impress. Have your other people, like I said, like maybe some chemists. Maybe you have Kevin on there. Maybe you have a couple of people who you've consulted with who can help also explain more things. And you know, just go from there. And maybe there are some things you can't do with the lab, you know, regarding the lab. Maybe you can't name it. Maybe there's these things that may or may not, you may not be able to do. But honestly, given what they did to me, I'd be naming that lab all the way. Be naming it. I'd be suing it. I would just make sure that it would never do this to anybody else again. I mean, I mean, sometimes they say that it's so easy to do the wrong thing and really, really hard to do the right thing. You know, maybe sometimes that's the case, but to me, this was like a no-brainer. I mean, you see this all the time with food. People, you know, you hear of one thing, an E. coli breakout, immediately, just one. You know, and I would never also, the other thing I would never, ever say is, oh, it was such a small percentage of people. Again, if someone had E. coli from some lettuce or whatever it was, do you really think that they're going to say 99% of the people were perfectly fine, but that one person had E. coli and, you know, it's such a small percentage? Of course not. One is too many for anyone to have those kinds of experiences with. So yeah, I mean, if you had done that, Jaclyn, if you had just done that, you would have avoided the Raw Beauty Christie microscope debacle, the Cassandra Bankson finding an animal hair debacle, possible animal hair. You would have avoided so many things, because first of all, and when you take responsibility like that, now no one's going to pick on you. They're going to pick on the lab. They're going to try to find that lab. They're going to try to find people who are, you know, the sleuths of the beauty community. They're going to do their digging, and they're going to find out. And, you know, and they're no longer going to be, they're actually going to be supporting you. You probably would have gotten more followers, more subscribers, because they would have seen your integrity. And, you know, and in the end, you probably would have made more money later on in the long run. You know, there was a horrible thing that happened with Tylenol. And fascinatingly, everybody thought that Tylenol was going to just completely combust, because somebody had put in a local drugstore, someone had put like a rat poison in a bottle of Tylenol, and someone got sick or something like that. This was years and years ago, maybe in the 80s. It was devastating, but they recalled every single one of those, and they thought they were going to go out of business, because this is serious. They were terrified that it was something that was in the formula from their factory, but they were able to find that it was an isolated incident, thank goodness. But even though it was an isolated incident, and even though it affected maybe a couple of bottles, they did the right thing, and they lost millions and millions of dollars. But look at them today. They're a successful company. Everybody still knows them, and they're doing fine because they did the right thing. I'm going to put some of my oil-free serum on first. You know, I have to say, this is really excellent, this Mally pore eraser. I probably have had it for way too long, but it really does work if you want to do something quick and fast. I put this on the other day, and it really does take down the shine. I still don't know what kind of mattifying primers are the best. I really don't. I haven't a clue. So we're gonna do a little bit of playing, and then we're gonna wrap up about the whole Jaclyn Hill debacle. Professional Matte Rescue. All right, let's give this a shot. So we're gonna put some of this stuff on, and we're gonna do this Professional Matte Rescue. So yeah, so, you know, and I wet my sponge too. I like to use a sponge as opposed to brushes when it comes to like my whole face, because it gets really irritated quickly. So, and even like with my hands, they're too warm for my skin, so I like to just put it right on the sponge. So that's what I'm doing right now. So yeah, I mean, I think like even my husband was saying this, and I think Peter Mon was saying this. It's like, you know, she's kind of playing business. She's like kids playing business. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's like if you have watched some of my videos, you know, this is an unprecedented time for women to have their own businesses. So, you know, it's all a painful learning experience, but it is a learning experience all the same. A lesson. I don't think this is the end of Jaclyn. I don't think so. She'll come back. She's like Britney Spears. Oh my gosh, she's like the Britney Spears of the beauty community, you know.